I hope we're all excited to start this weekend webinar marathon. Before we begin, let me ask you, are you dreaming of running the clinic you've always envisioned, whether it's a bustling practice or a cozy solo operation? Or how you can consistently see 30 to 50 patients a day and still have energy left at the end of the day? If these questions resonate with you, then you're in the right place. And Dr. Brad is the superhuman who is going to teach us how. My name is Myra Chen, and I'm your host and moderator for today's eLotus webinar. Here at eLotus, we have been hosting educational courses for over 3 decades, and we are proud to be your trusted source for premium CU content with over 200 speakers, 700 courses, and 3,000 hours of CE. Today's course, The Complete Checklist for Clinical Success with Brad Whisnant, is designed to help you achieve your clinic goals. In this practical hands-on class, Brad will share his proven strategies for efficiently managing a high patient volume, conducting effective consultations in under 15 minutes, and maintaining a successful practice without burning out. With 14 years of running a seven-figure solo clinic, Brad's insights are invaluable. I'm thrilled to introduce our speaker, Brad Whisnant, a renowned acupuncturist and certified medicinal herbalist from Oregon. Brad combines modern research with traditional Chinese medicine and has studied with notable experts like Dr. Jimmy Chang and Dr. Richard Tan. Besides running a thriving clinic in St. Helens, Oregon, he's also involved in charitable work through his nonprofit organization, which provides free medical care both domestically and internationally. If you enjoyed today's class, be sure to catch Brad Wisnant's second ACU course tomorrow, called The Top 10 Most Effective Protocols for Your Practice. And by the end of the weekend, you'll have valuable insights and strategies that you can confidently implement into your practice. And if you're unable to attend tomorrow, don't worry, the video will be available for distance learning. And before we begin, a quick reminder to set your chat from host and panelists to everyone so that everyone can be part of the conversation. If you have any questions during the webinar, please use the Q&A box. And lastly, the quiz. The quiz for CEUs will be available the next business day late afternoon for everyone with qualifying attendance. Now, let's get started with today's webinar, and please join me in welcoming Dr. Brad Wisnant.
All right. Hello, hello. You guys, good morning. Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay before we get going here?
Yeah, we
See
got
me
you.
okay? Hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
All right, fabulous. All right, you guys. Well, good morning. We've got 2 full days ahead of us. And what I hope you guys get from this weekend is that you guys can create anything you want, right? And the bar for success in our industry is so low that so many of you don't even dream big enough to where your dreams scare you, right? I mean, it's shocking to me. We have such an amazing medicine of 6,000 years. We've been treating all sorts of conditions and people and kings and queens and countries, and yet our industry is not very successful. Schools are closing. People don't see that many patients. People have to get part-time jobs. People are burned out. People aren't happy. People are frustrated. They're angry. They're not happy. It's shocking to me. It really is. And so the thing that I probably want to impart with you guys on this whole weekend is that, like, I'm really not that good. And I'm not humble bragging when I say that. Don't worry, we're going to get to the notes. We're going to get to the notes that you don't deserve. We shouldn't even have notes, but that's fine. But I'm not humble bragging. I mean that in the sense that I'm not that really good at acupuncture. I've treated 160,000 patients. Been doing it for 15 years, but still I have a lot to learn. And even though I run a 7-figure clinic, and that's not true, I haven't been doing it for the last 15 years. The last 3 years, I've been running a 7-figure clinic, and that's all due to my haters. So we'll talk about that in a while. You have to learn to embrace the hate, because all my haters is what made me so successful. So I always want to praise and thank you for all the people that hate me. You make me grow, and you've enriched me in a lot of ways, especially financially. But like, even the people I roll with, yeah, they're 1,000 times more successful than me. A lot of the guys I hang out with, they're doing 100,000 a week, and we'll talk about that. I mean, most of you guys, 100,000 a year is maybe a goal to reach, and it's not all about money, and we'll talk a ton about that. It's just about creating a clinic and having fun and have it not destroy your life. Like, I have 2 children, I have a wife. We still spend a ton of time together on vacations and connecting. And you should be able to go to your clinic all day and have fun and come home and be lit up and not be exhausted. And there's no reason to come home and sit on the couch and watch some political news show and get all stressed out and angry and hate going to the clinic and feeling like on Friday, thank God I made it to Friday. I mean, it's just such an interesting thing. I mean, take the Oregon College of Internal Medicine school I went to, the most popular, the most famous, top-rated school in America, just closed because they can't even run a successful business. And this is important. I know a lot of you guys like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But, it's important because no matter how good any of you idiots are, and when I say idiots, I mean myself as well. No matter how good any of us are, if you can't keep your doors open or pay your bills, you're going to be out of business. And then who are you going to help? Like, you're going to help nobody, let alone your family or your children. How are you going to help your community? And so many people are sick and suffering in this country, right? I mean, look at all the people that are sick and suffering. I mean, everybody's sick. 2/3 of Americans can't sleep. Everyone's overweight. Everyone has prediabetes, high cholesterol, undiagnosed hypertension. Everyone's stressed the F out. Everybody hates everybody. No one has libido to make love to their wife or husband more than once or twice a month. No one's exercising. No one has passion. No one has ikigai, which means, why the hell do I get up every morning to live my life? I mean, there's a whole world that needs us from a medical standpoint. And so it's shocking to me, and that's why we're giving this class, is I want you guys to realize that like I said, I should not be the exception. I should be the rule. You guys should all be doing, if not just as good as me, if not better. Because you're a better practitioner, you're a better person. You guys should all be doing better than me, and none of you are. That's what's shocking to me. So that's just kind of the overlay of what this weekend will be, okay? I want you guys to realize that. We'll get a bit more positive. I just want you guys to realize that you can create anything you want. And I want you guys to get this weekend that, even though I'll be talking about me, I want you to realize that you can't do what I do because you're not me. And I can't do what you do because I'm not you. And so this whole weekend is about having the strength and the awareness and the vision to create what you want, however the clinic you want it to be. And I'll show you examples of everything that I know true and dear to my heart that just crush it and it just works so amazing. I'll show you someone else that does the exact same thing and is worthless. And just like I'll show you someone who can't make it work, and I'll show you someone else who like crushes it. So it's not about the strategy, or it's not about the technique. It's not about the magical formula or the magical point. It's about creating a world or a clinic or a life that resonates with you. And then by living that authenticity, which is such an overused goddamn word. And I swear, and if you guys don't like it, just log off now. But it's about creating a life that's so correct and straight for yourself that I can stand alone forever on my own than stand with any of you for the wrong reasons. And that's what you guys need to get from a medical perspective and a clinic perspective. That's why I can treat 30, 40, 50 people a day and come home and play with my kids all night. And I'm 55. I'm going to go run a 160-mile marathon in Africa next year, self-supportive over 5 days. How many can you do that? It's because I'm lit up about life and passionate, excited. Do I have bad days? Of course, we all do. But it's about living truthfulness, and your clinic should be an extension of you. Your clinic should be a place of happiness and expansion and growth and communication and exploration. It should be a place that makes you better. No different than a husband or a wife. I always told my wife the reason why I married her, of course I love her, of course she's hot, I mean, all this stuff, right? But I married her because when I'm around her, I want to be a better person. That's your clinic should be the same way. Your clinic should make you want to be a better person. And when it's not doing that, you know you're not in the right spot. So that's kind of my intro. But anyways, all right. I want to share a screen with you guys. Feel free to ask questions. I'm sure some of you want to be confrontational. That's fine. I'm used to it. I'm sure some of you are here as spies. That's fine. I know you'll pass all this along to all the other people. That's okay. I'm still here 15 years later. I'm not going anywhere. So you all do what you need to do. But feel free to ask questions. I don't mind if they're tough questions. It's fine. Let me pull up my stuff. All right, hold on. I got so much goddamn stuff on my thing. There it is. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Hold on, guys. I'm going to get there. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, we're going to go to that. Beautiful. And do that. And we'll start this thing. Beautiful. Okay. Make sure this works. Beautiful. Okay, you guys can all see that? No problems, hopefully. Give me a thumbs up. Good to go. Cool. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Ryan. And you guys know I haven't talked good, cool. You know, I haven't talked for you, Lotus, for 10 years. I think we're not at 10 years. It's been a while. Anyways, it's nice to be back. Thank you, Tina and Sam and Mira and everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to chit chat. We will have a good weekend and good times. So, and I'll start off too, you guys. You know, just first, the first step of solving any problem is realizing you got a problem, okay? You can't solve a problem if you don't even recognize it. It's like a fish in water. How can you tell about fish about water? They don't know they're in it. So the first step, you got to realize you got a problem. Then once you have a problem, you can start working on it. All right. Now, why isn't that working? God damn it. Beautiful. Okay. So let's go and get into it. We'll be taking breaks. Please feel free to ask questions. I've got a lot of stuff to cover. Here's my biggest thing, and I tell this to my son too as well. He's going to be an NBA ball player, probably not. Thank you, Tina. It's very nice to see you as well. It's been a long time. My big thing is about glory is in the attempt, okay? Whether you win or lose, I've had a pro contract. I've competed all over the country. I've been to the Junior Olympics. Glory is in the attempt. Granted, it's fun to win. Don't get me wrong. You learn a lot more by losing. Losing sucks. Winning's a lot more fun, but you don't win nothing or you don't learn anything. My whole idea here is I want you guys to start understanding it's not about winning or losing. It's about getting your asses in the clinic and working. So many of you are afraid to work. I swear to God, this whole industry does not want to work. They just want to hang out. You guys got to get to work. And the idea about that is getting into the ring. let all the people who don't work complain and talk and chit chat, which that's all they do is they blah, 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 blah. I'm the one going into the clinic every day and working. That's the glory. The glory is getting out of bed and going to work and crushing it. That's the now. Maybe you have a good day, maybe a bad day. That's the winning or losing part. That right? Some days are bad. You know, like this last week was a great week clinically for me, but financially not as happy as I wanted, which is frustrating. To me, that's a loss. But still the glory, you already have the glory, is you've attempted, you're in the ring crushing it. That's the glory. And I want you guys to start seeing that. It's not about all the people who don't do nothing, because they love to chit chat. We have my wife is Vietnamese. She has a wonderful saying in Vietnamese, and it says, an empty can makes the most noise, because they don't do a goddamn thing. So they got all that empty space. You throw an empty can down the road, clickety clackety, clickety clackety, clickety clackety. You throw a full can of liquid, makes no noise. If you're full of knowledge, you'll shut your mouth. So that's the first piece. I want you guys to embrace that idea that the mere fact of you getting up every day and going to clinic and trying to make your life better, trying to support your family, that's the glory, right? If we make the money or see the patients or we get this or we do that, that's even like better. But the glory is standing on top of the mountain and dropping in the chute and going down the mountain and crushing it. That's the glory. Now, you might fall your ass down all the way down the hill. That sucks. But the glory is when you step up and attempt it. Now, disclaimer. I know a lot of you are on Instagram and you're on Facebook and you're screwing around and you're not focused. And I know many of you are going to take my PowerPoint and spread it around to all the people that hate me, and that's fine, because I know how this industry is. But what I want you to get is there's going to be a ton of stuff on this PowerPoint or there's going to be a ton of things I'm going to speak about that aren't on the PowerPoint. So you got to pay attention. You got to lock in. You got to buck up, Cupcake. Okay. And this is also a disclaimer to all those that will just read my PowerPoint, like, oh my God, you didn't say this, and you said that, and you left this out, and you left that out. It's because you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm the presenter. The PowerPoint does not present me. If it was up to me, I wouldn't even give you all notes. But I have to give you notes because we're in this gentler, kindler generation where we have to spell everything out, okay? I mean, Dr. Tom and I learned from him, he never gave us notes. You got to take notes. You got to pay attention. Put down your goddamn cell phone and focus. All right, but that's my disclaimer. So if you don't pay attention, you go back to my notes and they don't make sense, it's because I didn't put everything in there to make sense. I left out there on purpose, so you'll have to listen. It's important. Now, setting ourselves up for success. And don't worry, we're going to get to all this stuff. And I want you guys to get the reason why I cover all this other stuff, because this is much more important than some stupid acupuncture point you're going to put in. All right. And we'll talk about that, about why so many of these styles are all successful. Because when you understand, when you get the idea of you're not trying to bend the spoon, right? The truth is there is no spoon. That's the truth you have to get to. So many of you are trying to bend the spoon, and the truth is there is none. And so about these magical acupuncture points or magical herbs, you got to get there is no magic. And once you realize that, that is the magic. But anyways, okay, ground rules. I know some of you are probably already turned off by how maybe aggressive or challenging or forceful. It's only because I care. It's called tough love, okay? Just like with my patients, oh my God, that needle hurt. You're right, it's supposed to, it's a needle. Because I care about you. It's tough love, okay? Now some ground rules. If this is a hobby for you, you're probably not going to get me. I support my children and my family. I live in $1 million home. If I don't pay the bills, the bank's going to take the house back, right? If I don't pay the bills, my family doesn't eat. This is a profession for me, Okay, this is not a screw around hobby. I get it. I'm 55. When I was 25, I worked in medicine. I was in the Marines. I worked for the Portland Police. I was going to be in the DEA and FBI. I own my own computer store. So I got a lot of my business acumen. Not that I'm even that smart, but whatever. Did real estate. It wasn't finally until my mid 30s that I realized, hey, I need to follow my passion. I need to follow my heart. I was originally going into Western medicine, and then I ended up going into Chinese medicine because acupuncture saved my back from surgery. So this is a profession. If this is, and the reason why most of you won't like it when I talk is because I'm talking from a very serious professional medical standpoint. If this is a hobby or a part-time gig for you, it's going to absolutely turn you off. I guarantee it. So sorry, go ask for a refund. I'll even pay for it. I don't even care. If you guys don't take medicine in your family and your future seriously, probably you won't jive with me real well. If you don't care, I get it. A lot of you, this may not be your chosen profession, which is fine. But again, this probably won't resonate with you. And if you don't have a passion or purpose for the medicine, hey, what's up, man? You know, I get it. And if you just want to complain, I'm not going to take complaints, okay? There's no reason to complain. You guys have the best medicine in the last 6,000 years. You're all doctors. You're extremely smart and intelligent. You're beautiful people. We are going to talk a lot about this weekend about extreme ownership, meaning that you need to start taking extreme ownership of everything, as I do. And we'll talk more about that. This class and me probably aren't for you. I probably won't resonate with you, which is fine. Completely okay with that, okay? Yeah, I think it's being stupid. There we go. And who is this class for? So I would say people that are seeing this as a profession, people that want to help their community, people that want to end suffering and disease, people that want to provide for their families and themselves, people that take pride and respect in approving and giving effective therapeutic treatments, people that want to excel and grow and learn and overcome and achieve something. And people that view themselves as doctors of Chinese medicine. You guys are all doctors. Just pisses me off. No one even talks to you guys like that. And just a little side note, you know, as you guys have already got, I'm big into mindset. I'm big into like, hey, you got to be jacked up and excited and positive. This is no different than being an excited, positive husband or an excited, positive father. You know, just going to work in a positive mood or mindset. And you can even take out work and put in your relationship or your marriage or your family relationships. You're going to be 31% higher productivity, 30% higher close rates. And I know close for you is such a negative word, but 3 times as a peer group that are not in a good mood. It's important to love what you do, at least have a passion for it. It should excite you. And medicine's so cool because you guys never get bored, right? As soon as you figure something out, you learn something new. Like medicine's always evolving and changing and growing. You know how beautiful. That's what attracted me to medicine. Because no matter how smart you get in medicine, you're still an idiot. Like there's still so much more to learn. I mean, the more I learn, 15 years, 160,000 treatments, the more I learn that I don't know. It's unbelievable. And that's a cool thing about medicine. You can always grow and have a different passion. Maybe you get sick of treating addiction. Fine, stop. Go treat orthopedic. I don't like orthopedic. Okay, fine. Go treat fertility. Like whatever you want to do. It's beautiful, man. Create, and that's the extreme ownership. If you're not happy, you got to take extreme ownership of why aren't I happy? It's no one's fault but mine. And I like this slide for so many of you because so many of you are like anti-money, which is fine. I don't care. But I just thought this was a great quote. I lived in India for 3.5 months. Not that I knew Gandhi, but the India thing, whatever. You know, for as poor and broke as Gandhi was about free money and all that, this guy, the president of the Indian National Council, you know, it costs a lot of money to keep this man Gandhi in poverty. How does that relate to you guys? That relates to the sense that I get that you guys want to do this stuff for free and you don't want to charge people and money's an issue. But I just want you to know it's going to cost a lot of money to be broke. Being broke ain't easy. Being rich ain't easy. I prefer to have problems being rich than prefer to have problems being broke. You still have problems. It's very simple. And how do you know you have issues and problems? You're alive. As long as you're alive, you're going to have issues and problems. So suck it up. I'd just rather have, what kind of problems do you want? You have to choose what problems you want. Do you want happy problems? Do you want sad problems? Do you want rich problems? Do you want poor problems? They're all problems. So for as much as you guys embrace and love the idea of Gandhi and poverty and free and community acupuncture, and I'm going to give this away for free, and I'm going to do all this stuff for free because I'm a good person, which that's fabulous. I want you to get it's going to cost a lot of money to be poor. It's not as cheap as you think. And I want you guys to also get nobody's coming to save you. Okay? The boy must die so the man can emerge. And for all you people that are freaked out about pronouns, insert your own goddamn pronouns. I don't care. All right? That's my pronouns. You put your own pronouns in. That's fabulous. Nobody's coming to save you. And I mean that in a good way, because again, this is getting to extreme ownership. Nobody's coming to save you with your clinic, with your patients, with your school loans, with your life, with your daddy that was a jerk, that your mother that left you, the political environment, the weather. Nobody's coming to save you. And when you get that, you become free. Do you see what I'm saying? You guys hoping if someone's coming to save you, that puts you in bondage. That puts you in slavery. No one's coming to save you. It's freeing. Now you can create anything you want once you realize you're alone. And by being alone, when you truly get that, you realize you're not separate from the universe. All right. So what are the goals? And two, Sam, would you yell at me when we have a break? And we got lots of time, but I'm just, okay. So what are the goals of this weekend other than you're like, what the hell is Brad talking about? So I want to hope that you guys get that streamline your clinic so you can see multiple people out. That should not be a big deal, okay? You all should be seeing at least 2 people per hour per room that you have. I have 6 rooms. I've got videos in my clinic. We're all there. Scheduling should not be a nightmare. It should be pretty straightforward. You should be doing a medical modality acupuncture, and you should get results. You don't need to do 10 other modalities just to give a good patient experience, which blows me away. You need to communicate with the patient and connect, and you need people to enroll in care. Again, remember the magic of acupuncture is not fixing people 1 or 2 times. To actually correct something, you're going to need 10, 20, 30, 40 visits. I know most of that scares you guys to communicate that with the patient. You know, you guys should be happy emotionally, spiritually, financially with your clinic and your patients, not exhausted. And if you're exhausted at the end of the day, just like if you're exhausted in your marriage, you're exhausted with your children, you're exhausted with your diet, you're exhausted with anything, like you need to look at that. Like, why am I exhausted? You shouldn't be. There's no reason to be. And the interesting thing about exhausted, I'll tell you something. When I've raced 300 miles over a 3-day period, probably no sleep, you know, maybe an hour or 2, that's exhausted. But the interesting thing about that, you're so lit up, you have energy. Even though you're exhausted, you're like completely aware and awake. You're completely locked in because you're so at one with everything. You guys need to realize your worth. That's something my wife teaches me all the time. Honey, you need to realize your worth. You are a doctor, okay? And you actually save a lot more people. I mean, hell, remember that Western medicine is the top 3rd killer of Americans. Doctors are the top 3rd killers of Americans, right? You got cancer, heart disease, 1, 2, go back and forth. Number 3 is doctors. I think 4th or 5th or 6th is correct usage and correct usage, correct dosage of Western pharmaceuticals. We all know the more hospitals there are in any given city or town, the more people that die. The more Western medicine gets involved in your life, the likely you are to die and suffer. It's not a good thing. It's like the criminal justice system. When you check in, you don't check out. Clinic should be positive for you, extension of your passion and purpose. Really should. And over 15 years, I've certainly changed how my clinic is run, what I do, how I act, what I say, because I've evolved as a person and a husband and a father and a man. Here's one thing not a lot of people talk about. Patients should be excited about care with you and willing to give time, energy, and money to have you help them. The big difference between a patient signing up for care and a patient that's excited to start care. It's a very different feeling of a patient. You want your patients to be excited about starting care, about changing their life, about moving forward with you. Most of your patients should thank you as you accept them into your clinic. And I just said something that most of you probably don't say to your patients, which I'm trying to do a better job of communicating to my patients. But we don't accept everybody. Just because you show up, just because your wife called, and I know your back hurts from work, just because your wife called doesn't mean I'm going to take you. Right? Just because I'm a guy at a club and some girl asks me to dance doesn't mean I'm going to dance with her. Excuse me. It's not that easy. So same with patients. Your patients should be excited that you're going to help them. Now, the ethos, right? The ethos is a drive or a purpose. Ethos is a belief. What's our ethos? My ethos, or what I want to get across to you guys, start changes ethos. We're a medical clinic. We're not a therapy clinic, which is fine if you want to do that. But we're a medical clinic that treats real medical problems, people that are suffering. This is serious. This is a profession and not a hobby. We treat people. We have to go to work. This is an experiential medicine. There's no way for you guys to get better than to get out there and do it. You have to treat and work. I get that your yoga class is from like 10 to 11. You have to put acupuncture clinic and acupuncture profession above that and get to work. I was up at 5 a.m. working out and running and walking and doing weights because I'll be teaching you guys all day. This is my profession. And I'm going to get that a lot of you might find offensive. I think we need to get away from treating this whole wellness energy concept thing. I don't mind, and we'll talk a ton about this over the whole weekend, but I don't mind you guys treating wellness and energy, which is fine, but you're not going to be able to run a clinic based on that. And I'll get into the details of that, but I really think that's a real big problem that we're not treating, you guys don't have the, and we'll talk about this. And when I say you guys, I'm also talking about myself. So please, all of us, we're all learning, growing. We have to make sure we're getting a real verifiable medical problem. Hey, Brad, nice to meet you. Or John, hey, John, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Brad. This is my clinic. I'll be the one working with you. What's the most important reason that you're here today? What's the single most thing that you want to work on? Wellness. Oh, when you say wellness, can you give me a specific example? Wellness is pretty broad, right? You really need to get a specific example of what these people, wellness is a statement that I give to you because I don't want to be honest with you and tell you what I really want. And this whole energy thing, that's fine if you guys believe in that. And I do believe in energy for all of you. I worked with a shaman for 4 years. I've gone to Vipassana meditation where I meditate from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 10 days straight. I've done a lot more energy work and meditation than any of you. I guarantee it. But this medicine is not about energy. There is energy within your body, and we are doing energetic work. But this is a verifiable, biological, physiological, anatomical medicine. And you guys can do energy work, but you're going to find you're going to have a very hard time, I think, running a clinic that supports you and your family. And you're going to turn that energy work into like therapy work. Just saying. All right. Now, for any of you that are still here, probably most of you left, This is all my own experience. This is what I do in the clinic day in and day out for 15 years. It is important that I go over who I am. If you want to Google me, I'm an open book. You can find out about a million things about me. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I've been doing this for 15 years, and this is not hypothetical. I want you guys to get, it's very easy to have a very successful clinic for 1 or 2 years. Just like a new dance club, everyone shows up. It's very hard to do it consistently over 15 years. Just like you guys, it's very easy to run a 7-figure clinic. The challenge is not to run a 7-figure clinic and not have 7 figures of expenses. That's the challenge. The thing is, you guys have to be consistent, and you got to do better each. I mean, my last 15 years, every year's been better than the last. This might be the first year that I finally leveled off. I'm kind of stuck around the 7-figure mark. I can probably do a bit better, but not a lot. I think I've maxed it out. And yes, I've changed and evolved, but it's because, as a person, father, husband, I've changed and evolved, and all of you should as well. My core basic tenet, my ethos, it's not about doing business and or medically treating everybody. It's about treating the people that believe what you believe. Now, allow me to explain. What does that mean? I don't take everyone into my clinic. And I know for a lot of you guys, you're like, how the hell do you treat so many people and stay excited? Okay. Because I don't treat the people that drive me up the goddamn wall. Sorry, people outside. If you treat everyone that doesn't align with you, that's going to suck all your energy out. I just had a wonderful patient. She signed up for 12 treatments, which was my first fault because she wanted to pay each time. That was a big red flag. She should have signed for more. It should have been 18 or 24 treatments. So my biggest problem is I allowed her to come into my clinic. We did 5 or 6 treatments, and then her friend got her a gift certificate for an acupuncturist in another town. And the patient came back and said, Brad, I'd like a refund of my unused visits. I'm going to see the other acupuncturist. Fabulous. You should go see her. Obviously, you connect with her better. And that's because this patient had been to another acupuncturist before. And they wanted the meditation music, which I don't do. They wanted the therapy experience, which I don't do. They wanted tea, and they wanted hand holding. It's nothing that I do. And it was my own fault, extreme ownership, my own fault of taking her in the clinic. But the point there is, and she used to drive me up the frickin' wall. The point there is you want to do business and or treat the people that believe what you believe. And so you want to have people come into your clinic that, let's see, how you guys doing? You want to have people that come to your clinic that resonate with you. So like, I don't treat fertility. I don't treat smoking. I don't treat addiction. And I guarantee if I was to treat that, I wouldn't be able to see 30, 40, 50 people a day. I'd be dead. And so you have to make sure, and this comes from a place of not feeling lack, that realizing you are one with the universe, you are connected even though you're alone, realizing that you don't need those people. And when those people come in and you know they're not a good fit, just like a person, like a date, you just know she's not a good fit, or you know he's not a good fit. You can't continue to date them. You know it's going to be a toxic relationship. And this is the same thing with allowing people in your clinic. You have to treat the people that resonate with you. Like how many times, and this is very consistent, how many times do wives call for their husbands? And the husbands come in, and the husbands don't want to be there. And it's only because the wife nagged them to get in. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to be here. Because you just know if you drag him through the process, it's going to be painful. But I'm able to do that because I have so many patients. And we'll get into why I have so many patients. And then that allows you to have the freedom to pick the people you want or don't want. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's like, you take Apple. There's a great video by Simon Sinek that, like, it's not about saying we have great computers, we're the best at everything we do. Do you want to buy a computer? It doesn't really motivate anybody. But if you go the other direction, Everything in my clinic I do, we think differently. We think differently by using Chinese medicine, pins and needles and herbs, and we help people overcome illnesses that no one can fix. Do you want to come in and change your life? When you go that different direction, when you start with your belief, I don't believe that people should suffer, and I don't believe people should be sick. When you start with that belief, you'll resonate with those people that believe the same thing. Like, I don't believe, like I said, I'm going to go run 160 miles in Africa, self-supported nonstop over 5 days in 120-degree heat. Marathon every day, 2 marathons on Wednesday. People might say, well, Brad, you're 55, you can't do that, you're old. I don't believe that. And so I want patients that believe the same thing. I don't believe that you have to have arthritis. I don't believe that you have to be miserable. I don't believe that you have to put up with it. If you're the kind of person that doesn't want to put up with the status quo, boy, have I got a medicine for you. You see, that's about working with people that believe what you believe. And that's how you can treat 30, 40, 50 people a day and have energy, because the clinic's an extension of you. Now, there's no reason you can't have the clinic you want, patients you want, the structure you want, be paid what you want. And again, my ethos is I want to run a 7-figure clinic. That's important to me. Any of you that don't like money, completely fine. I want to see sick patients. I don't want to see patients that don't have a problem. I want to see sick people that are suffering, that need to end their suffering. I want my clinic to be a place of happiness, strength, and purpose. I've been saying this for years. Some other people have stolen my quote, which is fine. I get it. But I tell all my patients, hey man, I'm everyone's last resort with the best results. You're in the exact right spot. Brad, I've tried everything, nothing's worked. You're in the exact right spot. That's how everybody is. I'm everyone's last resort. And I'm the last resort with the best results when you want to get started. That's how you have to communicate with people. And then again, that's the reason why I can work so hard all day, because I'm only working with those types of people. Like I said, I've worked with energetic people or people that want to be there for therapy or wellness. Drives me up the goddamn wall. Can't stand it. Dumb thing. There we go. Sorry. And again, this whole weekend, I want you guys, it's not about you doing what I want. I don't want you guys to follow me. You can be successful any way you like it, right? It's not about dogma. It's about freedom. And it's not about follow me. It's about creating a practice. And extreme ownership, meaning that we have to take responsibility. You go on a plane ride and you get sick because of all the people on the plane were sick. You still have to take extreme ownership. You're the one that got on the plane. If you and I fail, it's on me. It's not anyone else. And if we succeed, it's on me. It's not anyone else. And as a man or a woman, I'm going to use man pronouns all weekend because I'm a guy, all right? If that offends you, I'm sorry. Put in woman, I apologize. Or put in gender neutral, whatever makes you happy, I apologize. As a man thinketh, so he is. So if you guys, whatever you guys start thinking, I want you to realize it all starts with a thought. And your thoughts are valuable and your thoughts are powerful. And if you guys have crap thoughts, you're going to have crap outcomes. That's why I said originally back here, as a man thinketh, right here, just being in a positive mindset, 31% higher productivity, 31% higher close rate, 3 times as productive as a peer group. It's important you love what you do and have a passion for it. I want you guys to start realizing it's completely up to you to create and have whatever you want. It's not about anyone else. Okay. I got to give you a brief background of me, because if I don't, it creates all sorts of problems. Okay. And I've been through all of them and I'm still here. All right. If you want to all Google me for more info, you can. Don't really care. So my big thing is I studied with Dr. Tan. He's dead now, God rest his soul. But I was with him on his hip from 2003 to 2007. I'm going to try and not go on a tangent here and start railing everyone again. Let's see, how can I say this quickly and nicely? So the reason why most of you still can learn a lot of acupuncture from a lot of different teachers is because of me. Because I've been through lawsuits that I won. Thank you. I now own beachfront property in Belize because I won these lawsuits. So thankful to my haters. But they tried to control acupuncture. And they tried to take things when people died and say nobody else can talk about it or teach it. And because of me, no one knows this, because of me, you guys still can learn all this stuff. And the reason why I have to give you my background is so if there's more attempts, there's just more, I got receipts that just prove that I've done all this stuff on my own. Just more receipts. Internet keeps receipts, as they say. So enough of that. I'll try and stay positive. So study with Wei Chi Young, he just passed away. Jesus Christ, man, it's crazy. From tongue acupuncture. That's why I do mostly ton and tongue distal stuff. I've written 7 books. I think we've done over 150 hours of seminars through Lotus. I mean, a ton of stuff. I've taught at 4 colleges, Empress College, Doctor Colleges, blah, blah, blah. I mostly teach distal concepts. I have my own thing, Bread Whisnant seminars. We've done ton and tongue in about 14 different countries. I've been sharing these distal ideas since 2010, and I've been doing seminars since about 2010, right? So we're 2025, been a while. Now let's talk about the clinic. I do see about 150, 200 people a week on my own. That's my wife and myself. My wife works the front. She does the scheduling, the chit-chatting, and the phone calls, and then I stay in the back. I have videos of my clinic that you guys can see. I don't do group acupuncture. I don't do assembly line acupuncture. Yeah, you guys can see all that stuff. Yep. I work Monday through Friday. I have 6 treatment rooms. I just kind of moved into semi-retirement this year where I work basically 4 or 5 hours a day. I have 1 long day. I run a cash insurance practice, about 85% cash, about 15% insurance. I only take the good insurances. There is 1 crap insurance I have to take, which just fries me, but because they allow me to see all these other insurances, whatever. I do all the herbs. Oh yeah, and by the way, I have 150 5-star Google reviews. Like, not 150 5-star Google. I have 150 plus reviews. Every single one's a 5-star. So I know for so many of you that are offended by me or don't like me, obviously my patients like me over 15 years because every single review I have is a 5-star. Okay. I do all the herbs treating. We have an insurance biller. I do the cleaning, the laundry. I order supplies, materials. I put the pins in. I pull the pins out. I'm the case closer. I sell packages and treatment plans. I just started advertising. That's why finally my clinic got over 7 figures. I finally started advertising 2-3 years ago. We never really ran ads before. My clinic's 1,500 square feet. I see 4 to 8, sometimes 10 people an hour, but usually around 4 to 8 people an hour usually. And again, my ethos of my clinic for my patients, hey man, we're the last minute, all my patients come in, hey, I've tried this. Again, you guys, we're so lucky in acupuncture. We're so lucky you don't even know it. Nobody comes to see us as their first line of medical treatment. Do you know how challenging that would be if that was always the case? I mean, I know about less than 5% do. Some people do. Do you know how challenging that would be if we were always the first option? Because then people always say, well, Brad, acupuncture sounds interesting, but I want to try chiropractic or physical therapy or medications or cortisone or surgery. They're always to come see us at the end. So you're situated perfectly. Like, dude, you're the last option. You don't have to, like, that's why I always get so pissed off when I can't close everybody, because in theory, like, man, like, what else are they going to do other than see me? I mean, if they don't want to see me, that really tells you that I screwed up, because I'm like their last hope. There is nothing else. And so I can't convince them or help them to see that I can change their life. Somehow I screwed that up. That's pathetic. That's why I just get so frustrated with myself. We are the last medical option with the best results. Me, you, Chinese medicine, it's beautiful. I'm in a town of 6,000 people. We're going to talk a lot about that, about location. I work 4.5 days a week. So I work like Monday, 12 to 5, Tuesday, 10 to 2, Wednesday, 9 to 4, Thursday, 10 to 2, Friday, 8 to 12, right? So 4 half days, 1 kind of full day. I don't do lunches. Lunches are for losers, okay? You don't do that. You shouldn't need lunch. I don't do moxa. I don't do cupping. I don't do any of that crap, just acupuncture. And that's great if you guys want to do it. But what I'm trying to tell you, and we'll talk more about it, 2 things. A, you should be charging for it. And B, quit killing yourself. That's why you guys are exhausted, because you're just working so hard. I'm doing less and less herbs because I just find Herbs is so confusing for patients. I don't have time for it. I really don't. That's my own personal opinion. I used to do a lot of herbs. I'm just doing less and less and less, and I'm happier and happier and happier. My success, and I want you guys to see my success, and from an acupuncture standpoint, is because of the results that are attributed to Master Tong and Dr. Tong, right? I think I've always said this forever. I think you need to have a few things. You need to have one, a great local type of treatment. For local treatment, I do electro. I think you need to have a great distal treatment. For that, I do Tong and Tong, kind of the same thing. The more you know it, you realize all the same. And then third, you need to have some type of non-therapy treatment, whether that's herbs or exercise or breath work or qigong or at home, whatever. I think those are the three things you need to have as an acupuncturist. So, but for me personally, I do a lot of distal work. Now, and we'll get into this. I know lots of people that do distal work that have horrible results. I know lots of people that do distal work that have great results. I know lots of people that do local acupuncture have amazing results. I know lots of people that do local acupuncture have horrible results. It's not about the style. It's about the expression of who you are. And for me, the best way I can express myself is through distal work. That's it. I have a lot of patients that are like, well, I've been doing acupuncture before. They always put needles in my back. Got it. I may or may not do that. Most of my treatments are distal. Do I do local treatments? Of course. Do I do local treatments with distal treatments? Of course. It works great. Nobody dies. You can combine everything. It doesn't matter. For all these rules that everyone has, women are on the right, men are on the left. It's always a cute thing. Women are right, men are wrong. Acupuncture points on the right work great for men. Acupuncture points on the left work great for women. You can't do local and distal together. Yeah, you can. I do it all the time. Everything you guys can tell me you can't do, I've done it, and it works just fine. And we'll get into that. But that's because acupuncture releases stem cells, and we'll talk more about that later. But the point of all that saying, this is not about how great I am, because I'm not that great. Like I said, the guys that I hang out with, they're doing 100,000 a week. They're running like $5 million clinics, and they're not even that crazy. But my point this whole weekend, if I can do this, you all can. I'm not special. That's the thing I want to get across. That's the big thing. Oh, God damn it. Stupid thing. Okay. Here are just some pictures of me that I've been training or treating people all over the world. Who really cares? That's great. Some other stupid pictures. That's fabulous. Okay, whatever. All right. So why am I sharing this clinic? Why am I sharing this class with you? I talked to Lotus, and it just, like I said, I thought it was interesting that how many people are suffering and frustrated and don't have the clinic they want or don't have the practice they want. And so, like I said, I don't have any employees. I've had employees before. I used to have 2 clinics before. I hated it. I think I tell all my patients, I always say the same thing. It's like, you know, you might think it's fun to have 2 husbands or 2 wives. It's stupid. You only need one. Just commit to one person. And same with my clinic, just having 2 clinics. I mean, I guess if I was single and I didn't have children or a family, I'd probably have multiple clinics. But my main focus is my family, my children, and myself. My clinic's the extension of that. That's why I only like to have 1 clinic. I've had employees before. They're great people, but having employees is your whole different animal. I don't personally like it, you know, and this is no different than I was in the war and I ran through trenches and when I was running with people, they just got me shot. That's all I got to say, man. When I run on my own, I run better. Like, just let me do my thing and I'll be fine and I'll be safe. When I run with you, you're just going to slow me down and cause me problems. And that's why I run on my own, just my wife and I. And we've had office people before. We've had other acupuncturists before. I don't know. It just doesn't light me up. It's not what I like to do. So yeah, and I'm only in a town that's 6,000 people, and I see all these, you know, I see that many patients. And again, it's not, don't get screwed up here. Don't get screwed up that it's 150 patients or 200 patients. It's 150 to 200 patient visits, right? So you guys, that's probably only about 60 or 70 people because you're seeing everyone 1, 2, or 3 or 4 times a week. If I take the average of all my people and divide it, it's about 2.4 visits per week per person. Some people are once a week. Some people are once a month. Some people are every day. Most people are 2 to 3 times a week, right? So it's not 150 people, it's 150 patient visits. Right? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. That's why you don't need that many people to see. 6,000 people, you don't need that many people in the town. And that's the biggest thing there, man. I want you guys to step into your greatness. That's the thing. It's like you're this beautiful person to dance and you think you're ugly. And you think, oh, no one will dance with me. I'm a horrible person. Like, you just step into your greatness. You have a lot to offer the right people. Now, my favorite animal is the buffalo. Even though I've dove with great white sharks, I've dove with whale sharks, which I love. I think the buffalo is pretty cool because the buffalo is the only animal, and I heard this a few years ago when I was at another seminar, someone else told me this, I thought it was pretty cool, is that they're the only ones that will charge directly into a storm, right? Into a problem. I used to live on a sailboat. I used to sail all over. I've single-handed from Puerto Rico to Bermuda, which is pretty far. I've sailed up and down the east and west coast. I like this because when you're sailing, you have to face a storm and tack your sails and go into it, right? You can't change the weather. The only way to get through it is to bang through it. And the buffalo to me was a resemblance of that, is that facing the storm and going through it, even though it might be challenging, it's the quickest way to get through it. If you run away from it, the storm just keep kicking your ass. That's a very important thing to think about, right? How many of you are still running from the problems of your dad or your mom or some ex-husband or some ex-wife or some bankruptcy or some investment that went bad, some problem in your life? You're still running from it. It's still causing you problems and still taking up time in your mind because you never faced a storm and walked through it or crushed through it or bang through it. It's like water under a bridge, man. You can't go back and undo it. Face it, work through it, be done with it. That's the buffalo, and that's why they're so strong, right? Because they'll face a storm and go through it. It's the only animal that I think, as per the research I've done, I think that's the only animal that does it on purpose. All right. And I'm going to be talking a ton about business and stuff. There's some special people out there, I'll tell you, and I'm aware of y'all. You guys are special. And whenever you want to give me a call, I'm ready. So, but where does all this come from? The big thing is Matt Easton. He's a big influence for me. Jeremy Miner, Brian Choi, Kristen Polk. I've done random chiropractic business courses. I've done blueprint automation. I've been close for Chiro. I did David Singer years ago. Lots of other random teachers on YouTube. Alex Hormozy, great guy. I like Alex Hormozy because he runs gyms. So gym thinking, gym talking is very close to medical. You know, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn. Dominic Stape is about the only acupuncturist I would recommend or suggest. All these people, the Matt Easton, these are people you can find on YouTube. They have free content. You can also pay them. Those are the people I've paid. Dominic Stape is about the only acupuncture person I'd recommend in the whole industry. Very trustworthy, honest, great guy. I don't get paid by him, but he's been very instrumental in helping me when I've been in bad spots. As a friend, as a confidant, as a cohort. He's extremely intelligent, runs a clinic down in New Mexico. You can email him if you want, just say, hey, Brad was talking about you. Brad said you teach business. I need some help. But like I said, I don't get a kickback from anybody for this. I don't get paid by anybody. My idea on that is just find a great business coach that resonates with you, right? You'll probably hate all these people I like, which is fine, but there's thousands of teachers out there. And these are non-acupuncture people. And I think that's really the place you have to go. I do not recommend, I know a lot of people teach business in this industry. And the reason why I have an issue with it is because most of them only run $100,000 to $500,000 clinic. Most of them call that success, and most of them want you to follow them. And the issue with following people is you're not them. That's the issue. You're just going into a different type of slavery. You're going into a different type of bondage. The whole idea is about freedom of expression and not following. It's not about dogma. It's about creating. And you can't have an amazing clinic because you're not creating your own truth. That's the idea of you following people within this industry. They want you to be like them. So that's my guy. Dominic's a great guy. Dominic's been taking business coaches, chiropractic courses, all sorts of medical courses. He's been doing it for 20, 25 years. Dude's a wealth of knowledge. And like I said, there's been numerous times I I've gone overseas for a while and come back to an empty clinic, or I've had money problems, or I've had a hard time closing people, or this or that. And he's been very helpful. And that's why I have no problem suggesting him. He's been extremely great, extremely helpful to me for no reason. So I'm very grateful for him. All right. Now, this is important because I want to talk to you guys about, I can show you anybody who crushes it, and I can show you the same person as the same thing and they don't do well, and vice versa. Show anybody failing, and I'll show you someone doing the exact same thing, they're actually killing it. You know, I can show you people that just do distal results, and I'll show you people that fail miserably. Or I can show you local accurate results and people that do great, and the other people get 0 results. So it's not about that. So, and this is the idea. So it's not about, if it's not that, then what is it? It's about you guys listening, observing, and then going leading yourself on your own path. That's the important thing. That's why I like all the coaches that are non-acupuncture, because it's not about doing acupuncture my way. Like I told you guys at the beginning, if you guys follow me, you'll probably fail. I just want to give you guidelines or posts, or even just give you an awareness that you can create whatever you want. You might say, wow, Brad, you're crazy. I want to do something completely different. That's the goal. That's the goal of me teaching you, is I want you to get that you can create anything you want, and you don't have to dream so small. That's why I laugh about, who is it? 9:15. Okay, thanks. See, I'm already going so slow. Don't worry, I'll speed up, you guys. You know, one of our, well, I won't say that. I'll stop. Gotta make sure I don't get too crazy. I just want you guys to realize you can do all that. I was gonna say something, but I'll zip it because I'm trying to be a nice person. All right. So here's most probably what you guys had. And this is my plan, right? Your plan is at the top. And then in reality, you got ups and downs, right? You got pit holes and bombs, and you got to do different things. It's a very cute thing to remember your plan, much like life, right? I mean, how many of you thought you had life figured out at 20 or 25 or 30, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, now here I am, or whatever it was, right? I mean, that's the beauty of life. I mean, it really is not the destination, it is the journey. That's why I never got that as a younger man. That's the journey that counts, not the destination. I'm like, no, screw that, man. This is what I want. This is the destination that counts. But it's not, it's the journey, because it really is all the destinations along the journey that get you to whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. Okay, oh, cool. See, we're right on time. Look at that. I got my first break coming up and I covered all that stuff. We got a few more minutes. Yeah, we'll do a break there and then we'll start on this. That'll be good. Okay. So let me wrap up with just a few things about me, and then we'll take a little break. Just about this weekend, about what we're doing. You guys should make no apologies for what you want. This industry is very judgmental. They love to judge everything. And this industry is very much like crabs in a pot, meaning that when one crab tries to walk out, all the other crabs pull him back down. And I've thought about that. That's only because 99% of the people in the industry are failing, or suffering, or angry, or sad, or miserable, or don't have the life they want. And that also speaks to the light and the dark. It's that so many people want the light, but they stay in the dark because the dark is what's comfortable. Even though it's painful, the dark is what they know. And within that painful awareness, they find comfort. And that's why so many people want the light, but they're afraid of it. Because once you move into the light, it's the unknown. It's what you want, but it's unknown. Now it begs the question, is that what I really want? Oh shit, I better stay in the dark and bitch and complain. Because at least when I bitch and complain, I know what I don't want. That's why so many stay in the dark within their clinic, within their life, within their practice, within their patients, within all of it. Because even though it's annoying, at least you're aware of it and it's comforting. The light, if you create what you want, oh shit. Now I got what I want. Interesting. Right? That's why so many of you are worried about that. Yeah. So I challenge you to move into the light, to be afraid, to stand on the precipice of the mountain where the glory is. Now you might fall on your face. That's beside the point. The glory is stepping into the light. And if you're not doing that on a fairly consistent basis, I would say you've got the brakes on. I would say that. So let's see, 9:06. We got a little break in a minute. If you guys want to, I don't want to start this until, because that was my timing. We're going to start with an area, and this is probably one of the most important things you guys can do, which you guys won't do because you all want to hang out with each other. I swear to God, the best advice I can give you, quit going to acupuncture barbecues, quit hanging out with your acupuncture friends. I swear to God, you're killing yourself. You're absolutely killing yourself. But we'll talk more about space in a minute. Before we go on a break, do you guys have any questions? It can be about what I just talked about or anything. I can drink my water too. Don't worry, I won't rail most of you, but if you ask me a stupid question, I'm going to let you know it's stupid. There is such things as stupid questions. No questions? I ran everybody off. Here's a good question, Rihanna. How do you tell patients you're able to treat them? You aren't. Okay, ready? So, was it Rena? Rena, yeah. So they come in, hey, Dr. Brad, I've got stress and, you know, I want to get pregnant. And I saw another acupuncturist in California and I saw you on Google. And so I'm here. Rena, thanks so much for coming in. That's fabulous. I'm glad that you're here. I just want to let you know, I don't treat fertility and I don't treat patients with wellness. That's it. Was there a charge for today? No charge. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Do you have any other medical problems that you'd like to talk about? No, that's it. Just energy work and fertility. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's probably other acupuncturists that treat that. I just don't hear. Thanks for coming in. That's it. That's it. Oh my God, that's so great. Hold on. That's a couple of questions. Hold on. Slow down. There's a question. How do you tell a patient? Oh God, you guys just blew up here, didn't you? I shouldn't have said all that. Tell a patient. Okay. Why is associating with acupuncture a bad idea? Lauren, it's not. But the reason why I say that is because so many are negative and so many don't want you to succeed. That'd just be like saying, don't hang out with women because they're all evil. Don't hang out with men because they're all jerks. Of course, there's beautiful women, there's amazing women, there's amazing men. Most acupuncturists, though, are very negative. And that's why I don't think it's a good idea. The best way to tell where you're going to be in 5 years, I can tell exactly. To look at your 5 closest friends, whoever they are and how they act is how you'll be. And if you're hanging out with negative people, which is a preponderance of people in this industry, you're going to be in a bad spot in 5 years. That's why. When can your office goers visit you since your working hours clash? Well, office goers visit you. I have no idea, Dr. Perna, what you mean when your office goers visit you since your working office hours clash. Oh, I got you. Yeah, Dr. Perna, ready? They don't see me. That's it. Brad, I get off at 5. Yeah, that's not going to work. My last appointment's at 5. I can't be there till 5:15. Nope, my family comes first. Brad, you don't work the weekend. Nope, my family comes first. That's it. Or you can bend on your rules and your life will be miserable because and then you'll start to hate yourself because you're seeing patients on the weekend because you wanted to be so good to Johnny because Johnny works 9 to 5 at the bank and Johnny can only come in on the weekend. So you go in on the weekend to help Johnny, but then you're away from your family. And then you start to create all these issues because now you're not living your truth. Just be straight. These are my hours. This is what I work. That's it. And it's funny, you guys, just so you know, last year I was basically 9 to 5 every day, give or take. Like a couple of days I was still short. But now here's the best part. I was 42 hours last year. I'm down to 26. I so far in the first 2 months, February 22nd, I have not seen a difference in money, and I have not seen a difference in the amount of patients I'm seeing. Here's a good example. I know it's my issue and my fault, and then we'll take a break. Hold on, don't take a break. I got 4 minutes. I know it's my issue. I know it's my fault. I take extreme ownership of it. I don't know why. I can't explain it to you, but I get really pissed off Monday morning when my 9 o'clock patients come in at 8:38. Drives me up the goddamn wall. And then it puts me in a pissed off mood for the rest of the week. So instead of changing people, because we can't change anyone, all we can do is change ourselves, I decided not to open my clinic till noon on Monday. Oh my God, it's the best choice I ever made. I'm so goddamn happy now on Monday. It's pathetic. I go run, I go work out, I take my kids to school, I slowly go into the clinic, and I go 12 to 5. Now, you might be saying, well, Brad, what happened to all your 9 o'clock patients? Because they told me they can only come at 9 o'clock. Guess what? I lost one. They all still come now at noon. All right. I've run into this. Yeah, exactly. Right, Dr. Jennifer? Yeah, they exhaust the hell out of you. Let's see. What are my hours? I told you my hours. Yeah, okay. And what's the other question? How do you, I just said, Dr. Lee, because I'm excited and passionate. There's no reason to burn out. Why do you burn out being a husband or a wife? Why do you burn out being a mother or father? Why do you burn out being a human? Are you not passionate about life? It's because I guarantee, Dr. Lee, you're not getting paid enough for what you do. You're working too hard for your patients. You're not treating the people that believe what you believe, and you're treating people that you don't want to treat. And you don't say that out loud because you won't, but internally, I know that's there. And that's why you're frustrated. That's why you're burned out, because the clinic is not an extension of you. What do you tell people you do treat? Well, Dr. Esther, I don't. I just treat people. And if I don't want to take them on, I tell them I won't take them. And Dr. Rue, what'd you say? When you try to close the packages, how do you explain and position yourself? Yeah, we will get into that, Dr. Rui. That's a good question. I appreciate that. We'll talk about that. Do I take every type of insurance? No, Dr. Adachi, I don't. I only take the good ones. The crappy ones, I won't do it. And I keep trying to drop out of more and more insurance. I think insurance is pathetic. Dr. Michael, do you find taking insurance to be even worth it? Yeah, I'm Dr. Michael. I'm with you on that. Yeah, insurance is very frustrating to me. I'm probably moving more and more into 100% insurance. Every year, I just kind of drop another plan. I just get so frustrated with it. I agree with you, Dr. Michael. That is a very good question. That small percentage is like a thorn in my side. Dr. Jonathan, do they pay up front? Of course they pay up front. I do not allow patients to pay per visit. We'll get into that. I know you guys are like, what? I know, and all my patients, my worst type of patients, just so you guys know, are patients that have seen you guys before, because you guys allow them to walk all over you. And you allow them to pay per visit. And then when I tell these patients, no, you have to pay up front, they're like, what? And then we got to work through it. It's fine, but yeah, don't cross your boundaries, 100%. Dr. Jennifer breeds resentment. Hello, 100%. Then Johnny said, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, exactly, Randy. Dr. Johnny is a slacker. I agree. Yeah. I have similar schedule, works fine. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Those are all good questions. Hopefully I answered most of them. Yeah, those are all great questions. I was always very scared, you guys, when I went from 9 to 5 down to, let's say, 10 to 2. I had the exact same question in my head. I'm like, wait, how are these people going to come see me? It's funny, other people will come find you. It's very interesting, right? And I've always been very scared about it. Even when I used to be 100% insurance, you guys, way back when, I was extremely petrified of like, oh my God, will anyone come see me if they don't have insurance? And then yet now my clinic, I mean, out of 30, 40, 50 people a day, probably 25, 35, 40 people are all cash. I mean, sometimes I told my wife, I'm like, honey, we're kind of running a cash practice. We don't even know it. And if you would have asked me years ago, Brad, you'll have to run a cash practice, I would have been petrified. I would have said, there's no way people will come see me without their insurance. But they do. So it's, it's very interesting. Dr. Jacqueline. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, and we'll talk a ton about packages and all that. It's very straightforward. People prepay. And if they end up deciding that I'm a jackass, it's not a good fit, COVID comes back, the meteor hits the planet, they're abducted by aliens, and all of a sudden they call me from Fiji, fine, take your money back. I don't care. Not a big deal. I don't know why that's always such a big question for people. Yeah. And then you paid for 10 visits, you use 5, I'll refund you 5. Good luck. Take care. Like that alum lady that wants to go see the acupuncturist. Great, here's your money back. I think it's fabulous. I don't want to see you, Brad. Great. Wonderful. Here's your money back. I hope you find what you're looking for. That's the whole goal, is for you to heal. Maybe for me, hopefully, but if it doesn't, that's fine. Go see some other person. No problem. Dr. Jacqueline. Yeah, and last question, Rena, then we'll take a break. Dr. Jacqueline, yes, I do discount for prepay. Let me clarify. We'll go over that more. I don't believe in discounts. See, and we'll get this real quick and then we'll take a break. Give me 2 minutes, Tina or Rena. I don't believe in discounts because you already want to know why. Because if I give you a discount, what's that really saying to you? The discount is saying to you, Dr. Jacqueline, you give me a discount. You know how I hear that? What that really means is if I just would have bitched a bit more, complained a bit more, Dr. Jacqueline might have given me a bigger discount. And what's interesting now that you mentioned Dr. Jacqueline, so your first price was full of shit. Now you've been lying to me the whole time. Now you want to give me a discount. Why didn't you just give me the straight price to begin with? That's why I don't discount. Discounts are evil. You shouldn't discount. You should have one price. It's a discount. All it says is that I was lying to you. And here's the best part. If I give you a 10% discount, you know what's even better than that? A 15% discount. And why didn't you give me a 15% discount, Dr. Jacqueline? Because you're trying to F me. You see that? The thing about discounts, you should just have one price. The reason why I said sometimes I give discounts, I used to have a one at a time pay, which was $175. And then I had a package pay was $100 a treatment. I no longer offer people to come in per visit treatment. If you want to do that, I'm not your guy, okay? All I offer are plans. Now that plan might only be 1 or 2 treatments because maybe you just hurt your back over the weekend. Or that plan is 50 treatments because you had Crohn's for 20 years. But I do not allow people to pay per visit. And if you don't like that, you can walk. Hopefully, but I would really strongly suggest you guys not have discounts because it really sets up a confrontational and dishonest relationship with you and your patient. Because now it's like, I don't know. I don't like it at all. But y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. I used to have 175, one at a time, drop in spa rate, and then I had my $100 treatment plan. But all I do is my $100, and we'll get into all that. But all I do is my $100 plan per visit, and that's it. If you don't like that, you can get out. It doesn't bother me one bit. So we can take a break with that. Good question, though.
Guys, Brett, 2 15-minute breaks. Cool.
Recording stopped.